and the sound is also on. Now, like sometimes the sound doesn't come in. So if you want to capture the whole thing, all three the things you can record. I'll be recording only this.
Okay.
Okay, whichever. Uh, so when we say HB, what we mean is hard black. You know, this is graphite. There is another kind of pencil which is called a charcoal pencil, where actual charcoal, the burnt wood is powdered and added with the gum and used. It is just gum, nothing else. Sometimes to vary the strength of the charcoal, they add a little bit of clay, so it becomes hard. Soft will be very soft, like it will just crumble. That is charcoal. This is carbon, but graphite crystal. You can see that it shines. When I bring it close, you can see that it shines. Charcoal will not shine, it will be matte. This will become gray, deep gray. It won't become black. Charcoal will be black. Okay,
Oh,
I'll do the eye with this once, and I'll do the eye with the charcoal. I think I have the charcoal here, or else I'll go and get it. Anyway, uh, so this pencil, the HB pencil, is for general writing, so it has to be hard. It has to be dark enough for people to see, draw and write. So hard black. This is graphite, wax, gum, and clay powder. So then you have a B, which is a black, which the hardness goes down. So 2B, the hardness goes down, means there is more graphite crystal than clay. Okay, so this is 8B. Nowadays they have 12B. This is 2B. This is 6B. Okay, I should be having 8B somewhere. Here it is, 8B. So this is very black.
okay.
10B and 12B is just fancy. Like organic food and all those lies that we hear. There is no such thing as organic food. Everything has to have in some way or the other, some chemical in it. And so, okay, so like that, 8B, 10B and 12B is just a name. So I'll send you a link for a set of 6 pencils, and I'll send you a link for A3 and A4, whichever you want to buy, you can buy. If you buy A3, we can be using this for large works as well as small works. I can do two works. I can turn it around and do 2 works, like picture work. So, how do we start? Though I'm not a very religious person, I do pray, happens. The kind of family that you're brought up in, so I do pray. So, what we do is, asymmetry, a tree is asymmetrical. Like you can't draw a center line and say both the sides are equal. There are trees which are symmetrical, sort of symmetrical. Absolute symmetry is very rare in nature. The face is considered to be symmetric, like one eye this side, half a nose this side, half a nose this. But face is not symmetric. If you're going to cut this, like take a photograph, cut that, and place it on top, you'll see how different this side of the face is from this side. That's the reason why when we see ourselves in the mirror, we are very happy. But when we see a photograph of ourselves, we feel, oh, my face is not good. No, it looks teda. Because you are used to seeing an inverted reflection, the photograph shows you the way other people see you. So what we do is we draw a straight line like that. I'll do a graphite work here and a charcoal work here. I'm going to draw the left eye. Okay, so which left eye means left eye of the model, left eye of the subject. So the nose comes here. So the face turns this side of the eye. Okay. Inside, this we'll call inside, this we'll call outside. This we'll call up, this we'll call down, naturally. So the inside eye shot. We start with straight lines. Drawing a curve cannot be clearly defined. What curve? Where does it curve? But we can define a straight line very easily. Okay, 40 degrees, it is not 45. 45 would be that much, right? That would be 90 degrees. 45 would be that much. Okay, so this is 40 degrees, 140-degree line, say 2 inches long. So it is easy to define. Instead of a curve, so we call this blocking it. So then the next line is a longer, the outer line is a longer line. Then we come to the bottom of the that line, below the line. The inside line is long, but it's not parallel to this. This is long, the inside line is long, slightly off. It's not parallel. These two are not parallel. So what do? We do like that. And this is angular. It's not straight up. The apex is not straight up to this. No, slightly angular. This is the basic. This is what we call as blocking in. We are blocked in. It's easier to block in and introduce curves rather than to start with curves. Now, let's see. Look at this. We want to draw a circle. We say that's the center. We want to draw a circle. How? No, I keep drawing all the time. I'm an artist. So that's my job. That's my life. So it's easy for me. Even for me to draw a circle, I have to plan so much. Okay, from there to there, that to there. Okay, is it equal? No, I think that should go. Then I go like that. Instead of doing that, even then it is elliptical. It's not. Instead of doing that, what I do is I draw a square. So when we draw with straight lines, we call it blocking in. So this way and that way, probably that is the center. Okay. So we quarter it. Can you see my lines? It will be slightly out of focus when my hand comes in. It will get back to focus when I take my hand out. That's how it works. Let me turn the... Okay. Okay, after that, from here I draw a curve. From here I draw a curve. Touching there, touching here, and comes to the center, I draw a curve. From here I draw a curve. From here I draw a curve. The circle is much better than that circle.
Yeah.
So blocking in and then going into curves. Okay. So now we are blocked in. What we are going to do is we are going to make this into a curve. We are drawing an eye. So the eye has tear glands. Okay. I'm going to be drawing slightly darker so that the camera can capture it and you can see better. Generally what we do is we draw lines that light only I have to see. I'm teaching, so you have to see. My students have to see. So I try to draw darker. But when I'm drawing it for myself, only I have to see. So I'll draw it so light so that I can erase it when I want to erase it. The paper will not get damaged. The paper is expensive because it is made in a special way. There will be enough gelatin, there will be enough chalk powder. Apart from the cotton or bamboo fibers, there are so many additives to make it thick but light, good enough to take graphite or charcoal or color pencil. Okay. So we should not damage the surface of the paper. That's why we always buy good eraser. Okay, from here I'm going to curve it. I come here, I curve it, I don't go to the apex, I curve it and I go out a little bit. I come here and the upper eyelid bottom line comes out. From here I go like that and I come out. Our tendency when we are drawing is to, because we haven't trained ourselves to draw straight long lines, we try to draw like that. Isn't it? Now, like, let me show you close up. We try to draw broken lines like that, which looks weak. When we are talking, I'm trained to talk as a teacher. I've trained myself to talk as a teacher. I've seen so many people trained myself. So my talking comes without any hesitation. Unless I'm concentrating on something else, my talking comes without hesitation, so it looks strong. I'm sure, okay, this man knows what he's saying. But if I'm going to be, what I'm trying to say is, means you won't have confidence. You won't think that I'm going to give a good speech. Likewise, that flowing makes the viewer think that you are confident, you know what you are doing. That's one reason we try to do that. Okay, so I'm going to come out of this line a little bit, come out, take a curve, come out and join it from underneath. This has come out, this line goes and joins underneath. When drawing an eye, people usually say, the eyes don't meet like that. Only very rarely, one in a million could have like that, and they will be genius. They say Mahatma Gandhi had his eye like that. I don't believe it. And anyway, that's politics. Let's not get into that. Buddha, whenever we draw Buddha, we try to keep the eye like that. But when I draw the Buddha, I take the eye out like that. Like somebody who is a genius wouldn't have left the family. That's that's politics. Okay, so now the upper eyelid we always see as slightly closed, and we don't see the bottom of the upper eyelid unless we lift our face up or somebody goes slightly below our face and looks at our eye. So that is just a line. But the lower eyelid, we see the thickness. Okay, this is the tear gland. Okay, the tear gland is drawn like that. If you can't see something while I'm drawing and you want to see, you can always tell me. If I take my hand out, it will be visible. Okay, and there will be a double line here. Let's draw it very light. There will be a double line here. It will be slightly thick here. Again, it becomes thin and goes and joins. It has a double line there. You can see that double line, right? So the tear glands come up to this. After that, we draw a circle for the black of the eye. That's the iris. We know that as the iris. Right in the center will be the pupil. Pupil is a hole. It looks black because inside there is no light. The retina will not reflect light easily. Unless you put a lens, go into the covering of the top and put a light inside, you don't see the retina. So it's black. So we draw a circle to show the pupil. So now we have drawn the shape. You have drawn the shape. Shape is two-dimensional. Okay. Now, when we do an artwork, we are going to make this into an artwork. When we do an artwork, we give it a dimension. Drawing alone is not enough. Even if it's going to be drawing alone, again we introduce something called texture to create light and shade. So immediately we talk about light. So light we know is directional. It starts from a source and starts moving out of the source and goes almost in a straight line. What's your education, Lata?
MCA.
MCA. So naturally you would know about light and things like that. Now like photon and like that. Photon is vibrating depending upon the wavelength, the color changes, like the warmth, the cool, like that, all those things But they travel in a straight line, but certain magnetic fields can actually bend the light path. That's deep. Artists don't go into that. But that knowledge helps. Okay, so now immediately we talk about direction of light. We can have it flat from here. Okay, so this part is going to be very dark. We want it to be slightly more interesting. So we take it out, and the best lighting that artists are influenced by is what is known as Rembrandt lighting. There was an artist, 15th century artist, Dutch artist named Rembrandt. The full name is complicated, Rembrandt van Rijn. So Rembrandt always used 45-degree light, which means to the subject, that is 90 degrees, right? Horizontal, 180, but we just take half of it. Okay. Okay, so this is 0, we'll keep. That's 90. Okay, that is 45. So from here, he will go to 45. Now, the Z, Z, X, Y, Z, we go to 45 here. This, we go to 45 here. So the light comes from here. Above the iris, above the iris is a semi-spherical, not exactly semi-spherical, slightly less than that, a slice of a sphere which is totally transparent and glossy because of the tear, like a tear gland secrete, like we keep wetting the cup. It has a name, we'll go into that later. The size of the iris determines what mood the person is in. If it is very dilated, probably they are drowsy. Probably they just woke up from sleep. Or they are not feeling well, so they are not able to focus properly. When the diaphragm, that's a diaphragm, right? The iris is a diaphragm. When the diaphragm hole is small, focusing is better. Yeah? When the diaphragm opens up a lot, the focusing is less. In a camera, that's what we do. Right? If it is 5.6 and if it is 18, the focal, the aperture, 18 is better focus. That's all. Okay. So, if it is very small, it look you're totally drugged or you're under the influence of some external power, of extreme fear. Extreme fear can reduce the diaphragm aperture or increase the diaphragm aperture very much. So we have to be very careful about how big we want this, okay? Now if the light is coming from here, like that, if it is coming from here, there will be we'll say the light is a circular bulb. So there will be a circular reflection there. Okay, now we have come up to this. The upper eyelid is slightly folded at the top. Okay, generally touches the top of the pupil. Generally, not always. Generally touches the top of the pupil. Okay, it goes like that and it disappears. Now I'm using a 2B pencil so that my lines can be smooth. It's easy to erase. 8B is bit difficult to erase. HB will make a mark on the paper. We have we have up to 6H. They all have technical reasons. 6H, if you keep a scale and draw a line, you can cut the paper. It's that hard. There'll be very less graphite, and there'll be more clay. So, okay. Now I'm going to use an 8B and make this the iris, the pupil dark. I'm going to leave the highlight. We call this the highlight. That is the brightest light. That will be white. We'll leave the paper white. Okay. So we call that the highlight. We'll do this today. Next class will be after the 50th, on the 15th maybe. That's when I come back. Okay. And we'll start from here. If you notice, I move my hand unless I'm doing a small area where I move my finger. When I'm going to be doing like that, I arrest my fingers, arrest my wrist, and my elbow and shoulders move. It is I look at that line about 3-4 millimeters ahead, so that I know where my pencil has to go.
Okay.
So this comes as a reflex action if you have done that a few hundred times. So you have to keep doing it. It's not
Yeah,
easy.
I'm new
Yeah,
to this pencils book
yeah,
only.
yeah. So the biggest discouragement is not able to do what you want to do, right? So, but you'll have to understand that you will not be able to do what I'm doing, because this is maybe a thousandth time I'm drawing this eye in this past 2-3 years. I'm talking about 2-3 years. Uh, so you have to understand that you have to keep practicing till you don't have to think about how you're holding your pencil, but you just think about the line. But initially you'll have to, okay, I'll have to, my pencil is here, I have to look here, and I have to come up a little bit. That's how I move. I stop looking and I continue for a few millimeters more. Okay, now when you go to the side, okay, I can use this. We'll say this is the eyeball. Okay, so that is the optical nerve, and we know all those things, right? And this is the retina, and the eyeball is like that. Here is the iris, that is the pupil. Okay, this is the transparent dome that we are talking about, where this one is. Okay, the upper eyelid comes out like that. The lower eyelid comes out like that. The upper eyelid will have longer eyelashes, and the upper eyelid will have longer and denser eyelashes. The lower eyelid will have lesser number of eyelashes, and they'll be shorter, because dust doesn't come easily from here, but things could fall from up. So to protect the eye, the upper eyelid is longer. No, like the body mechanism is Unbelievable engineering, Okay. So if light is coming from here, we said 45 degrees, right? So if light is coming from here, there will be a shadow falling on this. So there will be a shadow falling like that. This is white. That is the diaphragm area, okay? There is a shadow falling. It will come like that and fall here. Okay, so let me just make that, let me just make that slightly dark. I have to carefully leave the highlight. We call that the highlight. Or it can be called highlight, or it can be called HIGHLIGHT, highlight, highest light. So we call it highlight. Any pencil can be rubbed with other things like with a finger, with a paper, with a cloth. We can rub it, and it will get smudged. We know that. So it can get smudged, so it can stick to the finger too. So we have to be very careful when you're doing something like this. You usually have a paper on top to keep my hand. Okay, but now I'm not using it because if I keep that half, the drawing will be hidden. You have to see. Now I'm going to draw the outline slightly, outline of the iris slightly. That is a plate. That diaphragm is a plate. This is the sphere. This part is the sphere. This, because it's a plate, it will fall, the shadow will fall here. Isn't it? That is slightly behind. I'll bring this here and show you.
Sir, excuse me, 1 minute, I'll be back, please.
Okay. Okay.